And I want to comment on the AMAs. Even more so than that winning an award, you know, you sit there and you're in your seat and you got these nominations, you start going over the things that you want to say. One of the things that I want to say is how much I appreciated the opportunity to be at the AMAs and to get to hear John Mayer perform, to get to hear Maroon 5 do their new single, to get to see Fantasia. That's the first time I saw her perform, and I think she's going to be around for years. And I loved it so much, and I just wanted to say how great American music was. Now, just picture if you're in school and you had this speech, and you're in speech class, and all these people are sitting up there telling their speech, and the bell rings on you. And kind of like when my last nomination was up and I didn't win, it was like the bell was ringing on me, and it's like, I don't get to say anything again, like VMAs. You get the most nominations and then you don't get to say anything, and that the combination of that frustration might send someone over the ledge, especially if they're a new artist. And I can't blame the way I acted, on just being a new artist, because I was raised better than that. And it was very ignorant, and a lot of that Chi-Town, the street mentality came out of me. And it's hard, I'm an artist, so I'm not gonna give you any buts. All I'm gonna do is apologize. I wanna apologize to all my role models, my father, Ernie Barnes, Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, all of the black people that had to stand up. Denzel Washington, who had to sit in that Grammy seat and take it so many years. That was a complete slap in the face to Denzel for how many times he lost, to feel like this is my first year out and I'm gonna act a fool like this. Because at the end of the day, as black people, we still are fighting for our respect. And I'm one of the few rappers where people can look to and say, look at this guy. It's okay to listen to rap music. So I take that responsibility.
But that said,
Yeah.
you are here and you did win.
Yeah.
So what does that feel like?
I mean, it feels good, and it's a matter of having to just soak it in. A lot of times, this whole music and everything is a false reality. Because it's like, I imagine the way I feel on stage, or when I win an award, is how a crackhead must feel when they hit that crack, because it's such a high. But like how they got to keep taking hits, I got to keep making hits. And I know that if I don't make those hits, somehow I'm going to have to adjust my life. If you ever heard there's nothing worse than the lifestyles of the broke and famous. Because everywhere you go, man, Frankie Lyman, I thought you was dead. So a lot of times when people come up to me and say, I love you so much, I love you so much, it kind of feels like, you feel like you're at the greatest party of your life on a Sunday. And you got to go to work that next Monday. So it's hard for you to completely appreciate it, because the stress. I know I'm working on my next album. Do I have a song that I think will impact Like Jesus Walks that's done yet? No. Do I feel like I can come up with an album that's maybe better than Late Registration, better than College Dropout, but College Dropout was so impactful that I always be held to that. Jay-Z's second album, Volume 1, had Where I'm From, it had $1,000,001 Questions, it had Streets Is Watching on it, and people dissed the album when it came out. And it has classics on it that he performs to this day because it wasn't as good as Reasonable Doubt. Now, I made an album where I outdid myself. I put myself in a bad situation. I used to say that all the time. I said, my problem isn't the first album, it's the second album. I used to say it when I told people, don't be dumb and not rate this album properly. I have something against any press that rated the album a 4.5 instead of a 5, an 8 out of 10. Rolling Stones gave it 3.5 stars. Now, who swallows their pride and says, you know what, this 3.5 stars album is album of the year. Double XL actually did change the score from an XL to a double XL. And when I used to speak to the press, and the thing is I speak to them also, as an English major, as an intelligent rapper, because the average press, they think they're smarter than rappers, which they are smarter than most of us. But in this case, if you write a term paper out and you feel like you worked harder than all the other students and you get a grade of a B or something, you have the right to go and talk to the teacher and try to get that grade changed. And I feel with my album, The College Dropout, not knowing if I'll ever do anything this great again, maybe I will surpass it, maybe I'll be here forever. But The College Dropout was unrateable because of what it meant. I tried to make an album that I felt would be a time capsule for this decade, not only year 2004. That's why the first thing you heard was drug dealing just to get by. These are serious subjects that I'm talking about. This is not just music. That's the reason why the album had so many skits. This is serious situations. People are graduating and not getting jobs in their major. The job market is too crowded. It's like they sell you this dream where you're gonna go to school, and if you graduate and you turn in all your work on time, then you're gonna have 2.5 kids and this nice suburban home and be able to afford this Benz, and people are ended up waitressing and doing jobs that they hate. And this album, when you talk about that, it is reminiscent of a Marvin Gaye. And the thing is, I'm speaking about it as a fan of hip-hop. If somebody asks me, what do you think was the biggest thing in hip-hop in 2004? If I say me, it comes off as arrogant to people. But my confidence and their lack of esteem equals my arrogance. A lot of times with black people, we're taught, you know, you ain't shit, your daddy ain't finna be shit, and so you're not supposed to believe that you can be anywhere further than you were. On 7938 South Shore Drive at age 14 in the middle of the hood saying, I wanna be I got the exact same outfit on as Michael Jackson right now. I just thought about that when I was on the plane. I said, look at these glasses, right, and a leather jacket. So to some kids right now, I am what Michael Jackson was to me. Right. What'd you say? What are you doing with John Mayer? Well, John Mayer is just really a good friend of mine because he's just as sarcastic as me. And actually the song No Such Thing completely was the basis of the album, The College Dropout. If you listen to those lyrics, I want to run through the halls of my high school. I want to scream at the top of my lungs. I just found there's no such thing as the real world, just the lies you have to rise above. And we're working on, it's a new song called Bittersweet on my album. And it says, see what I want so much, should never hurt this bad, never did this before, that's what the virgin says, we've been generally warned, that's what the surgeon says, God talk to me now, this is an emergency, and they claim she only with me for the currency, you cut me deep, bitch, cut me like surgery, and I was too proud to admit that it was hurting, man, I never do that to you, at least purposely, we breaking up again, we making up again, but we don't love no more, I guess we fucking then, have you ever felt you ever want to kill her? And you mix some emotions with tequila, and you mix that with a little bad advice on one of them bad nights y'all have a bad fight, and you talking about her family, her aunts and shit, and she say, motherfucker, your mama's a bitch, you know, domestic drama and shit, all the attitude, I never hit a girl, but I shake the shit out of you. But I'ma be the bigger man, big pimpin' like Jigga Man. Oh, I guess I figure it's bittersweet. You're gonna be the death of me. I don't love you, but I need you. No, I don't want you, but I need you. I love you and hate you at the very same time. Bittersweet.